Okay, your friend asked about slide number 13 on hormonal interaction or regulation. So this slide here covers overall hormonal interaction in one cycle. Okay, in one cycle of menstrual ovarian activity. Okay, so it starts with number 1 here. Hypothalamus secrete GnRH. This GnRH will stimulate the anterior pituitary. Okay, once anterior pituitary stimulated, it will release the gonadotropins. Okay, FSH and LH. FSH, LH travel through blood, go to the ovary. It will bind to their designated cells. LH bind to T cell, FSH bind to granulosa cells. So FSH bind to granulosa cells, it will proliferate, increase in number of granulosa cells. That's why we can see from these primary follicles, here develop into secondary follicles. Okay, secondary or tertiary follicles, secondary follicles, many layers of follicle cells. Okay, as these follicles cells grow, proliferate, and these follicles develop, it will release estrogen. Okay, this estrogen release is a negative feedback for the GnRH and FSH. Okay, it should be like this. Negative feedback for the hypothalamus and negative feedback for anterior pituitary. Okay. Slightly elevated estrogen level and rising inhibin is a negative feedback for this. Okay, it will slow down the FSH. It will slow down the FSH LH. Okay, but this when this slow down, okay, of course the GnRH also slow down, but remember our follicle cells keep growing, our granulosa cells keep growing, T cells keep growing, so mature it turns to tertiary. Okay, it develop into tertiary, and only one tertiary follicles develop into Graafian follicles. Okay, as these follicles keep growing, estrogen release or secretion is higher and higher, keep increasing. Okay, so the elevation or high estrogen level is actually a positive feedback for the GnRH and for the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary to secrete their secretion. Okay, so that's when LH surge occur. LH FSH surge occur. Okay, this one. And this LH FSH surge occur, it will cause this ovulation. The mature follicle to ovulate. Okay, to ovulate, and then the LH surge will transform these follicles into corpus luteum. Okay, so refresh back. As you can see, pathway on purple and red color is during follicular phase, early and mid follicular phase. Okay, the pathway with blue color, okay, blue color is the end of follicular phase hormonal regulation, entering the ovulation. Okay, entering the ovulations. Okay, that is the hormonal regulation for the red for the mid and also end. The blue color is end follicular phase, the red and purple color is the early and mid follicular phase. Okay, one of your friend said about corpus luteum. So corpus luteum is after ovulation. Okay, so let's change the color into yellow. Okay, So once this LH search transform corpus luteum, right? Once LH search transform these remaining follicles to corpus luteum, this corpus luteum will continue to secrete estrogen and progesterone, the steroid hormone. The dominant one is progesterone, estrogen is low level, okay, and also inhibin. And this progesterone and estrogen will become negative feedback to negative feedback to hypothalamus, stop secrete GnRH, and negative feedback to anterior pituitary, stop secrete FSH LH. Okay, so when FSH LH absence and GnRH is absence also, during this yellow phase here, the corpus luteum, this is available. Corpus luteum available, estrogen always available. So it will give negative feedback, right? So no new follicles will be recruited to develop, okay, because this is at luteal phase, the yellow color at luteal phase. The body system, the female body system is getting ready for fertilization, implantation, pregnancy if it's occur. Alright, yeah, and as long as progesterone is present, higher in concentration, it will cause negative feedback to hypothalamus and GnRH. Once the corpus luteum die, at the end of menstrual cycle, at the end of ovarian cycle, at the end of uterine cycle, okay, the corpus luteum degenerate, no more progesterone. Let's draw in blue color, the blue light color. No more corpus luteum, okay. Progesterone, PG will be dropped. PG will be dropped in terms of concentration, no secretion. So the hypothalamus reactivate and then secrete the GnRH. This one, GnRH present, it will reactivate anterior pituitary and it will secrete FSH, LH, okay. So new growing follicles will be recruited, okay. Once this PG is dropped, and it will cause this FSH, LH to secrete, and that means the new ovarian cycle initiated. Alright, okay.